I'm kind of doing this video kind of for my little existing crappie fishing audience. All three of yous out there, or is it four? I think it's only three. But anyway, for all 3 or 4 of you guys out there, I know a few guys watch just because they fish the same lake that I fish, and it's just a handful of people that watch. So this is really just for them. But I haven't been able to get out there that much. I have been out there some, but the time that I've got out to our little spots over here have been really not very productive. I mean, we've had so much windy weather, really windy weather, cold weather now. It's just not really been what I would call, any decent weather for it. Today wouldn't be bad. Today is not bad. The wind's calmed down pretty good. It's pretty much a bluebird sky day, but it still wouldn't be bad, I don't think. But for some reason, the last few times that I fished, the crappie just did not seem to be back in the creeks at that time. Whether they had been back in there and I had just missed them, or whether just the weather patterns have been such that they just haven't got back into the creeks right now, I'm not sure. But eventually I think they probably will. So right now we're coming up on the end of December. Usually by now I would have started fishing in November, and as soon as the water goes down I would have started catching them. And I got 2 different spots I would usually go to, and so with that, I would catch crappie at both spots. Sometimes maybe one spot wouldn't pay off, and I'd leave and go to the other spot, and I'd catch a few over there. A bad day would be just catching 1 or 2, and then maybe catching 3 or 4 little old bluegill and a couple of little yellow bass, and you'd notice some activity back in the creeks. You might catch some skipjack, but I'm telling you what, folks, I mean, there's just been hardly anything. I think I've caught 1 yellow bass and 1 largemouth bass. There's not very much activity in the creeks that I could see. No crappie. Two trips there where I fished it hard in my usual spot. So, but that's just the way it goes. It's just different patterns, I guess, this year. So hopefully, maybe in the coming weeks the weather will moderate a little bit, because we have had an unusual cold pattern, and I think as we move towards the end of December, if we just get a little moderation in the weather and a little stable conditions, and that's really what we need, is just good stable conditions, and eventually the pattern will get right, where there's the water gets right so that the shad move back into the creeks and then the crappie will follow. I'm not sure how all that works, but eventually the crappie will wind up back in the creeks, and between that time and really until the spawn, you'll have a chance to catch them. So that's what everybody's kind of waiting on, I'm sure. And the other thing I noticed while I was out was there was nobody else fishing, honestly. I didn't see hardly any boats out, and around here, when the fishing gets a little bit good with the crappie, the word kind of gets out. And if the crappie were back in those creeks to any degree, there would have been boats fishing. And right now they could be. I mean, that happens pretty quickly. Things can change in a hurry. So who knows, today they could be back in there pretty good. But unfortunately, I'm not out there giving it a try. But maybe in the next day or 2, if the weather conditions hold up, we're going to try to get out there, because today it's up about 48 degrees today. Pretty mild breeze out on the lake. It's going to be quite a bit more breezy out there, particularly in a couple of the spots that I fish. But that's just part of it. You just have to kind of bundle up and take the good with the bad,